collective energy reading. Please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best, because you're going towards that 10 of cups. You're mastering that craft. You're going, connecting, involving. You're integrating families. You're integrating with that spirit, connecting to that divine. You can see that things what was rooted from inside of you, those ups, even when you have those F-ups in relationships, and you have to keep moving back and looking back and keep moving with love. That's when you put in that hard work in. Even when you have to make these decisions and you're in that 201 and you're in that lack mindset, and you have to see those relationships, when you look and who was programming your mind, those thoughts, who was dominating over that love, that joy. You can see when you get that hangover and you see the consequences, you're exhausted. It's recovery. It's like extroverted recovery, you know, when you're like up and down and you see that mindset. You was being creative. You weren't creative. You was being crazy. You wasn't thinking to that spirit, listening to that true divineness. When you was having this extra energy, air, ace, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, about these family members and friends, the partners, the choices when you're going towards these new beginnings, who you was birthing with. And you can see those significant others. 10, was it a karmic cycle of your inner standing? Was you listening to that spirit? Was you moving with that oneness? 21, have you looked and you seen that wholeness within inside of you? That how you put yourself out there in public and what you're valuing. Are you moving with love and compassion? Was you communicating effectively with these partners and making sure you wasn't manipulating choices, people's minds, thoughts, feelings, emotions? That's when you have that hangover, because you can see it's self-love. That peacock, yeah, break, awaken. That spirit, showing your true self to others. Was you showing yourself off and finding that great power, focusing in that positive aspects? When you're inspiring, creating other people to trust your inner self, look at your resources, that magnificent self, that magician skills. When you're unique, that beauty. It's that deep walls when you can see untamed, untrapped thoughts, emotions, releasing, letting go, past heartache, hurt and pain. I'm just going to clear this energy on 1, 2, 3. Turn it on down. So I didn't mean to just drop back like that, but someone could be in a standing and feeling weak because of those choices, those options. You can see, was that picking? Is that enabling me to be able to grow? Is that giving me that higher insight to be able to connect with that love, that joy, that oneness within inside of me, that Venus energy? Am I doing it with a pleasure? Was I doing it with romance? Am I making that positive choice? Or am I indecisive about these ventures and the people and places? Am I going towards this victory? Take this order as it resonates. This could be this King of Pentacles. Could be sat. Your divine feminine, your masculine. You could be in that masculine energy, working hard, trying to make that positive choice to see which way you're going. Are you moving with your spiritual inspiration? Are you being creative and looking at these partners and choices? Have you got many options? What options have you got? Are they leading you through temptations, or is it like going to bring you down and these snakes going to pull you back down and put you in traps? Or are you going to enable yourself to grow because you've seen certain actions that people doing? Or are you just going to go and start releasing these emotions? Take this order as it resonates. 2 of Cups, about these lovers and choices. And you was gambling. Are you listening to that spirit, getting that divineness within yourself and having being creative? Or are you being this empress? Or are you gambling, taking risks, out partying, socializing, not listening about these choices that you had? Empress, and who you was birthing with and growing with. Are you listening to that spirit? Did you have that oneness inside to connect to the divine about these habits and the choices who you was birthing with and these partners you was creating with? Could be somebody far from a distance around the world. You could be grounding, connecting to that earth energy, inner standing. You was steadfast and organized. Did you have these insecurities? Take this all as it resonates. Did somebody make you have these insecurities? Was it like different interrelations, like different backgrounds? Somebody could looking back, so you could be from a distance from you. It's different colors, relations, religions. You can see one's moving with love, one's grounded, one's got abundance. Somebody's enabling one to have that acceptance, to trust oneself, be creative, be inspiring. That's when you're consciously awoke Take this all as it resonates. You could be integrating and connecting, and that's when you're having that compassion, trusting about what you're working and valuing. When you're possessing. 9, you got this higher clarity, seeking information. 13, 12, sorry. Look, that dog's going on. Who was chatting shit, programming in your mind, causing you confusion so you didn't look. Systematically approaching about what you value in money. Cups, Express, Empress. They may want to see, they may see that love and that joy. Who was creative, had that compassion. Now they can see those illusions, what they had when they was taking these options, and they was gambling, taking risks, running for like idolizing the golden calf, or your things that you can see what was dominating, what partners was dominating over your mind. So you weren't releasing these emotions. 8 of Swords, 10. So you got this inner standing because of your mindset towards money, what was dominating because of assets. You can see what you was valuing. Was you enabling yourself to transform with those words? Who was programming that masculine, feminine, because of their values? The 3 of Cups, when those out socializing, partying, was they understanding about those family members and friends? Who was communicating and what dynamic about this High Priestess? Blocking. They may be in their emotions now, thinking in their mind about you as that High Priestess. They could have been a fool because they had these habits, they had these insecurities when they was having these choices. They could have been gambling and taking risks. Chariot. Now they could be thinking about you as a High Priestess, connecting to their emotions. I am. Take this all as it resonates. I can see I am for some reason. They're listening. They may want to be able to come and speak this truth now because they can see that intuitions. 7. They're on that chariot. You know when someone's determined now to come and speak about these family members and friends, about the actions that they was taking. Could be water sign because they need healing. That's revealing those emotions, that love. They can see that duality, that black to the white. That's where you look, that yin, that yang. You can see that you're integrating those thoughts and feelings about the actions that you took. This could be this masculine. They're listening to spirit now. They're trying to get led by the spirit. 9, higher clarity. 3, about the lovers and choices and mindset. To be able to come about who at growth. 5, that clarity. Life purpose. I am creating. They was creating. 12, you can see inner standing now. You're understanding what they was creating. They have these illusions. They was trying to obtain assets, lust and greed. 7, a partner. Now they can see that power that they had, harmonizing thoughts and feelings. Peace. They want to speak the truth towards you. Somebody may be rushing in, rushing to speak this truth about this Empress. They was gambling with, out socializing, partying. They could have had rebirthing with, about a child seeking information. 8, they was blocking them, stopping them, holding them down with great power. That was all because now they're reflecting back about the partners and what they was valuing. It was for money. People dominating over them. They could see they were spiritually, mentally, emotionally blocked. When they was looking at these choices, they wasn't listening to that spirit within. It's all as it resonates. That tall, thick guy, he be making me hot. So you can see that tall, thick guy, they could be making you hot. Those illusions, you're idolizing, watching people. They now in big regret. Now they're in big regret because of those illusions. They won't listen to that spirit. They're trusting their emotions. No, try out. All or nothing. So you've seen there was no tryouts. It was all or nothing. You had to end these karmic cycles when people's causing you stress, making you not listen to that spirit and connect to the divine, trapping you in emotions to make you feel like you was lost in your soul. Proving myself worthy for someone who didn't love me earlier. So you wasn't proving yourself for someone who didn't love you earlier. They weren't connecting. They was dominating. They was running for lust and greed. They weren't transforming and changing that growth. You can see moving towards success. They didn't want to have that success with you earlier. 3, they wanted to be out socializing, partying, running for lust and greed. They weren't connecting to that inner spirit. You was a High Priestess. You seen, you was creative, expressed, released emotions because the heart. And it was Mercury, that Mercury energy of when they was traveling and moving, family members and friends. You got this higher clarity. You had that wisdom to connect to the divine, that freedom. They can see now that acceptance. You had to accept, reflect on the things you couldn't change about these was gambling, fire signs, Geminis, Taurus, their mindset towards money, what they was valuing and programming when they was gambling. They lacked confidence. You had to build up your confidence because it was spiritual liquid. They was dog-headed. Now they're on that Kundalini arising. It's Anubis. They could see about the choices that they made. They wasn't balanced. And it's like post-mortem trials, cleverness. It's that power of thought. You had that power of thought. You're a high priestess. Now they're looking back to that power of thought towards you because they was spiritually blocked in their mind. Four of Swords. Now they can see because their heart closed off. Closed heart chakra. Spiritually blocked, mentally blocked, all because of those illusions. When they was running for lust and greed, not listening to that spirit, they lack strength, they lack inner standing. They weren't transforming. Three of Swords because they was causing heartache, hurt and pain. They could have got Three of Swords, tried to Three of Swords you, cause you illusions, feel like you didn't have strength. You had to obtain that strength, you had to be creative, release those emotions. Because they was trying to provide and proving themselves to someone who didn't love them earlier, causing you stress in your mind. You was in that hermit, you gained inner standing, you gained wisdom. Why, where, what, when. You looked at the divine, you was led by the spirit. He, her, him and her, when they do people, family, friends too. They was running for values. They could see what they was valuing. Now they could be looking and somebody could be valuing you and say, look, now he's valuing. They tried to put that stronghold over you. 9, you had this clarity. They were spiritually blocked. You seen that versatile. You was versatile. You had a moral compass. They was running for money, lust and greed, trying to possess and dominate over that masculine. Queen of Wands. That Queen of Wands was trying to dominate, possess over that masculine. Now you can see fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. All because they had aggression, controlling. They didn't understand that you stood in your power. I am true. I'm protecting myself. I'm moving forward. I'm listening to that divine or that omnipresence. You can see you're looking at people's different religions, cultures, backgrounds, trusting that spirit, the divine spirit, that oneness within inside of you. You're enabling, expressing. People have got a social awareness of you. People was acting. They could have said you was acting. You weren't standing in your truth. You're not connected to the divine. Because you was that heart and that Mercury. You connected to that spirit, Mercury energy, that oneness, Two of Swords. To speak the truth, stand in your truth, to balance those emotions, integrate that oneness with that one duality. Left and the right side of your brain, active, open. Page of Wands. This Page of Wands was running with their tealing, not thinking, balancing their emotions. They was trapped and lost in their soul. Now they want to come home to the self. That's the destruction for the focus of the darkness. Now they can see us in that low, dark mindset, not making positive choices. They was running through lust and greed, forgetting the bullshit. My parents, carers, teachers told me. They lied. So now they can see who programmed them with their mind to have that values about money, lust, to be able to possess and what you're possessing. Respect the come up. Now they're respecting that come up. They can see you're moving forward with that knowledge, balancing emotions, nurturing, enabling, looking at your values. You can see prioritizing your job, your work ethics. They're respecting your work ethics. High wisdom, protecting yourself. You can see people can't dominate over your mind. Nothing happens by chance. Phenomenon is conscious. Nothing by, it was divinely guided. It was duality. DNA repair mechanisms. How you experience it. I live with it. So you've seen downloads, how you experience it, those illusions, confusions, I feel connected to that divine, how you express it, speak it. You got that inner standing because it's that diagnosis. You can deal with it. Transform your mind, your body and spirit. 5, when people creating stress and causing illusions, you can see it's a back pain, even looking at the eyes and your blood pressure, your circulation. You have to deal with it. You have to speak, be creative. Seek information, get that inner standing about family members and friends and who was communicating with who. You had to move towards your victory. That's when you were steadfast and organized to be able to receive from the divine that open words, wise of wisdom. You had connected. It was like that right, the left, appreciating, polluting, transforming, changing, releasing emotions. When people was dominating, you had to receive the message from the divine, get that inner standing. When people was blocking you, you can see this masculine. Get out of that stronghold. You had to release emotions. They was like you had to be that true divine feminine. Sunglasses. Release those illusions. because you have to receive the message from the divine to connect to the ground, the truth. Receive the message of that truth. Now they're receiving that truth, that love, that abundance. That's when you can see it's that most delicate part, balancing karma. You can see because they're having stress and illusions, they start connecting, listen to that spirit about the choices who you was working with. Now they're seeing that dreams, the illusions, are getting that message. 12, because they're evolving. They can see when people was dominating, trying to come in your dreams, block your mind, your thoughts, so you wasn't able to go forward. You see, to make that rightful decision, trusting your gut feelings. Coughing, now they're having that death and awakening, transformation. Who was trying to hold on, dominate over the divine feminine, masculine. Like you didn't know your self-worth. They was not trusting in their self. That spirit, zebra, because it was that open-mindedness. They were spiritually blocked. There is more. They weren't seeing, connecting to that oneness. That's when you have to trust your thoughts, your feelings, connect. Ask why, where, what, when. That's when you see your decisive actions. And there's more than one way. 3, when you see that 3, M-E, are you looking at it as a W, higher perspective, left, right, and center? That's when you have to see that grounded 4 elements. Look about your stability, determined, connected to the most fundamental part, your heart, your home, family, friends, your foundation, what was rooted, ancestors. It's that pivotal point. And you can see it's looking at it from a different viewpoint, new ideas. You're putting that input, your output, you're manifesting, you're creating, finding conclusion, a solution. And that's new ways to be able to resolve problems, to speak that truth about family members and friends, making a positive choice. That's when you can see it's that oneness, gain wisdom. You can see about partners and marriages. Sometimes you're not making that rightful choice and you have to go back again and speak, because it's using your intellect, communicating effectively, having understanding, but about opportunities. That's when you can see people's blocking your opportunities, so you're not able to make that truth, even having these partners. Now what I want, not what I want, but I'm still winning, positive out of negative. So sometimes you don't get what you want, you're still winning. Spiritual knowledge, gain that understanding, balancing thoughts, having that strength to keep on moving forward, creative, passion, power. You can see you've got these opportunities. Yeah, you have to have that deafening and unaliving. Sometimes the people that you do want and you care for, you have to release them because they need healing. They didn't even think, they just done it. They was forward. They needed healing. They didn't think when they was running for lust and greed, going towards those new beginnings. Karmic wants to reach out. Don't destroy the principle of rhythm, for it's indestructible. It's the ebb and flow. You have to let it go. Molested when I was younger, got issues now. So you can see when they was younger too, somebody actually thinking it blocked their mind. So they was dominating, they weren't listening, trusting their gut feelings. 10, that's understanding now. The things that was hurting could have been a father figure. They came to feed you off your energy. There was like angelic vampires, succubus spirits, those family members and friends, all because they was idolizing you. I want the washed up. I want the washed up one being round the back and now ready to settle down. Man, we just be chilling, billing. So now they can see they want to be coming back for these new opportunities. Washed up thoughts, releasing these emotions, letting go of that heartache, hurt and pain, those illusions, that masculine, because of their habits, their structures when they was running for lust and greed, not listening, trusting their gut feeling, listening, programmed by family, friends, delusion. You can see deport, who deposited, who was developing new skills, the loopholes, when they was going round and round on that same dead bus. They could see who's that boss. They could have been debating. They could see that past now, what was plus, who was posing, the things that was loud. They could be hearing that spirit. They could be saying, please, please don't go. Please don't go. Look. Oh, 'cause I have numbers that in my phone. Oh, all alone. That roads could be leading back to you. Ego, they was in that ego. Now they could see plus that purpose, that highly favored. They tried to make you be less than what you was. Duplicate. They could have been duplicating you, that karmic energy that they had around them. Take this all as it resonates. Now they're having these goosebumps because it's that realization, it's that base chakra, licking them. It's that routine check. That pulse is licking them down. Their soul, emotions connecting to that heart. Take this oil as it resonates. They could be feeling old. That old ego, they've got to let it go, let it pass, let it be. Dale, sail, they may be sailing a house. Spouse. Take this oil as it resonates. OULADAGOSBPK. R at the bottom. They could be feeling sore to the core.